We are.
They're not going to know this.
Nobody will know it.
No one will know, but
Only the studio audience.
the studio audience knows
only
why I was laughing.
Why Paul was laughing. Yeah, maybe we'll do it behind the scenes one day.
That's right.
You'd have to be here in person to witness the taping.
That's right.
Of Pathos Soundcheck with what fucking show are we on? Soundcheck with Pathos and Logos to even know what we're talking about.
That's precisely right.
That is precisely right. This is Soundcheck with Pathos and Logos.
Pretty, I can say with 67% certainty that this is Pathos and Logos Soundcheck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Starring Pathos and Logos. I am Flava Flav.
And I am the entire rap group, the Fat Boys from the 80s.
What up?
I'm all the dudes.
All of them together?
All of them.
You've really gotten it together, man.
Well, you know, I used the Jeff Goldblum Brundlefly telepod thing. We just sort of fused together, got our cells worked out there, just got it all taken care of.
Ourselves. Good use. You're staying in character. That is fucking amazing. I like that.
There it is.
Well, what have you been up to? It's a new year. What the fuck am I talking about? What have you been up to?
Between practicing and doing new music for the new album and stuff, I am, so obviously I say this right as we are about to film the first episode. We're filming the first episode of 2026. Trying to recover my voice a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of usage.
A lot of usage.
Of the voice there.
It's true. I mean, I guess we could tell people Paul did just lay down, in my opinion, one of your best vocal performances on a new song that we cut called I'll Go First.
Thanks, Kyle.
We think it will make it to the record.
I think, yeah, but if you think it's going to make it to the record, it's a pretty good one. A little stylistically different from some of the other heavy stuff that we've been working on recently.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good.
But either way, fucking great song. So we hope you guys get to hear that this year.
That's right.
I almost said next year, but this year.
No one knows what year. We're like Kyle Reese traveling back in time, trying to defeat the Terminator. What day is it today? What year? We don't know what year it is.
I have no idea. Have you listened to any new music lately?
I did, and actually we discussed this before we started to film. And I have promptly entirely forgotten what it was. It is lost on me. I have absolutely no idea, but I am supremely confident that it was good.
It was, because I will remind you that our homeboys Dragged Out dropped a new single, and it was
Zeno, dude.
Thank you, Zeno. Yeah,
it's heavy, dude.
That popped up on my release radar last Friday, and so much to my surprise, it just got brought up in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fucking slaps.
Yeah.
I even looked over at my wife. I was like, oh, I know these guys. And she was like, oh, yeah, I remember these guys. They were nice young Christian gentlemen. And I was like, no, they're not. And anyway, no.
The gems of Butte, Montana.
They're the crown jewels.
The crown jewels of Butte, Montana.
Actually, shout out to the boys in Dragged Out, right? A funny story. This is the last thing I remember about the boys from Dragged Out. A funny story about Michael, the singer. Mesa, their band mom at the time, was getting them all some food put together and stuff like that, and she had made waffles. And we're all hanging out in the living room. We're talking about it. It's morning. You guys are drinking coffee. There's waffles. Mike comes in, right? Comes in, denim jacket. He's like, hey, Mesa, are there any waffles around? She's like, yeah, there's some in the kitchen. He goes, he grabs the waffle from the kitchen. You remember this, right? Walks out, shoves it in his, breast pocket. And she looks at him like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, well, I might need this for later. And she goes, you're going to eat that later? And he goes, oh, you know what? You're right. And he goes back to the kitchen and he got the syrup. You remember that? And he went and squirted the syrup in his jacket pocket. Shout out to you, Michael, and Dragged Out. We love you, buddy. That's my finest memory of the boys from Dragged Out. Fucking fantastic.
So I remember vaguely the waffle moment. I do not think that I recalled the syrup incident.
Oh, yeah, dude.
But I like that he had it as a kind of gustatory insurance policy. Like, heaven forfend I consume this dry waffle. Let me make sure that I've got little food lube going on there. Dragged Out. Everyone in America and the world beyond should be listening to Dragged Out.
They should.
From Montana.
Yeah, if you are into heavy, aggressive, and extreme music made by gentlemen that look ravishingly beautiful, then you should be checking out Dragged Out. We played, God, when did we first play with them?
In Helena.
That's right. In like 20 BC
Like,
or something like that.
Yes, during the height of the Roman Empire, when there was a metal show in Helena, Montana.
Yeah, I think we met them.
It was Marty. That was the
That's it. Shout out to Marty Burkhart.
shout out to Marty
And
Burkhart.
we
dude.
played at, I don't remember the venue. It was like the big gigantic dome or whatever.
It was like a Shriners thing
Thank
or
you.
something like that. yeah.
Shriners Hall. Yeah, and the Dragged Out Boys were there. Yeah, and we've been good pals since. Man, we've played so many shows with those
We
guys.
have played a lot.
Either way, good new song, fellas. It slams, it bops, it flaps, it slaps, it
It does all of the
it
things.
squats, it
It does.
flips, it cartwheels.
None of this is not exaggeration. This is not hyperbole. The song does all of those things. Zeno by Dragged
Check
Out
it out.
just dropped. Check it out.
Yeah, you should definitely check it out. So I was actually describing all the things that take place in a mosh pit
Yes.
for Dragged Out, and describing the music at the same time.
So you were.
Yeah.
And that's called efficiency, people. Okay, that's called efficiency. That's what's going on there.
With it.
Yeah.
Well, should we bring on our guest? Our first guest of 2026.
The first guest of 2026.
I think it's time.
We absolutely should. I will take this distinguished honor. She is the vocalist for metal band Orna from Denver? From the Denver area. Guys, everybody, warm welcome for Jess from Orna.
What a lot of people don't know is that Jess was our first live in studio guest.
That's
Or, I'm
right.
sorry, not guest. Live studio guest. Did I say that right? Audience member. Thank you. That's
That's
what I'm
right,
trying
that's
to
right.
That's what I'm trying to say. She got to actually see a taping of Soundcheck with Pathos and Logos for the first time. So
That is not to disparage the other ravishingly beautiful humans who constitute our studio audience, but they are all android humans. They're all synthetic human beings, and Jess is flesh and blood, and she's here with us today.
Yep. In order to save money in the new year, we are using cyborgs.
That's right. That's right. So surprise!
live
Yeah,
studio
who knew?
audience.
Cyborgs don't need a stipend to be audience members here. We don't have to pay them.
We don't have to feed them either.
No, they don't eat nothing.
Don't eat
That's true.
anything but our electricity bill.
So now that we've immediately started talking about cyborgs, very clearly related to all of the, very topical for what we'll be discussing today here. Jess, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing all right.
Good.
Glad that we were able to make this happen because if I recall correctly, you were meant to be on a couple of weeks ago, but you were not feeling well.
Yeah, our band actually went viral in a bad way. We got like the band sickness. So yeah, me
no.
and Garrett got it. Yeah.
Oh, so the whole
From Dre,
band
yeah.
got it?
Or most of the band.
Wow.
3 out of 4.
That's funny, though.
Went viral in a bad way.
I wonder how
Yikes.
often. I mean, I would assume that happens to a lot of other bands that every member in the band gets sick, or most members.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's ever happened to us.
No.
Really?
I mean, the odds, are less.
Yeah.
The great irony has been that you have been sick a couple of times, but when we were out on the road, but I think that might have just been, exhaustion related.
Probably.
We're playing in Denver one night, and then we have to play in Columbia, South Carolina the next night, and you're sitting on the plane next to a person who's coughing on you, for 3 hours or something.
Precisely how it works.
So
So, what did you have?
Some sort of virus.
Something.
Yeah, something nasty.
something
I
not
didn't want
fun.
to share.
Right. Much appreciated.
Yeah, we do
Thank
appreciate
you kindly.
that. Exactly. Well, it is good that you're on the show, and we're glad to hear that you're feeling better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we actually, before we started filming today, we were talking a little bit about how Orna has some new stuff cooking in the new year here.
Yes, yes. We recorded our second album last April.
Oh, there you go.
And at Evergroove Studio with Brad, and we're really excited about it. Definitely a new direction, on a lot of our songs. So
Okay.
we're really excited.
That's
Some
awesome.
risks, yeah.
I have heard of Evergroove, but like you and I, Kyle, have never recorded there. What was the experience like recording at that studio?
I love it there. I love Brad and Athena, they're just marvelous to work with, and the studio itself is beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, up in Evergreen, so.
Oh,
Incredible.
you
just answered my question. I was going to say, where is the studio at?
Evergreen.
you answered our question.
Okay,
and I'm
gotcha.
all like, oh, so it's not just a clever name. It's literally in Evergreen, Colorado.
So we're going to nerd out about this now because
Might as
as a
well.
guy who used to work at a recording studio, describe the studio for us.
Like it's literally it got like kind of like a cabin feel, but like so you just like feel at home, like kind of
Yeah.
recording there, like and
Would you say there's a large control room? Is there a separate drum room? Is there a separate ISO booth? That kind of stuff?
there's a like separate like kind of like control room, but you can just see everything. And, yeah.
It's all just kind of like one
Yeah, yeah.
open space kind of thing? I like that.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Perfect. Okay.
That's an Evergreen, just like the cup. So I've played. Have you ever played the Little Bear in Evergreen?
I know where that is.
You know where
but
that's
yeah,
at,
I
right?
do. I do.
I've played in a couple of bands
Nice.
that have played the Little Bear. Just Evergreen, just in a general way, I just like it there. Man.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
it's a beautiful
I
part.
would like decompress after recording and walk around the lake every day. Like it's nice.
Oh man. You had mentioned that the second album is, if I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you leave me with the sense that it's somewhat of a stylistic departure from previous material.
I mean, we just took some risks on some songs. We do have an acoustic song in there, or has a lot of acoustic elements.
Yeah.
And I know Travis took some bigger steps, like on bass, like made a lot more atmospheric pieces. So
That's
and I
awesome.
definitely took risks with vocals and yeah, just all around.
That sounds good. Actually, I mean, that resonates personally. The new record that Kyle and I are working on is definitely moving in a little bit heavier of a direction. But whenever that new album for us comes out, the immediate preceding record, which will at that point be gospel, had a piano ballad on it, man. So I think there is something to be said for stepping out of your comfort
Yeah,
zone.
absolutely. When I heard Dre's version with the resonator guitar, I'm like, we have to have that song. Like, me and him fought for it, so
Yeah,
I'm really glad we did. Now it's the title of our second album, Beyond the Physical World. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
so cool, dude.
Nice. So everybody gets to hear
Yeah.
the title of the new album
Yeah.
right here. Good thing you tuned in.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's fantastic. Okay, that's
yeah, we're
great.
really excited about it.
That's great.
We should be releasing our first single probably beginning of next year. We were hoping this month, but it is a lot. Working that all out. So
We're in 2026 now.
Now we're
Yeah,
2026,
that's right,
so
that's right. This is yeah, it's releasing now.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah, it's happening now. But the struggle is so real.
Yeah.
Like still right, dude. I wrote 2023 on something the other day. Like. I don't know. It seems like it's speeding up. Actually, maybe you guys read something about this. I heard that scientists are reporting that time actually is fractionally moving faster. Yeah. Like, I don't know whether or not it's necessarily happening in a way. I want to say not in a way that we can perceive. I can perceive the shit out of it. It's 2025 disappeared. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did.
Flew by. I wanted to ask you this, Jess, because I don't know that we've ever talked, or you and I have never talked about this. But Kyle and I were both a little curious before you got here today. How long has Orna been a band?
I'm trying to like think. I think we formed in like the fall of 2022, maybe.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
And you're a founding member of the band?
Yeah, I basically like started reaching out for players.
Oh, that's
and then,
awesome.
Yeah, met on a few different platforms and just really hit it off. So
That's so cool. We saw you guys at, was it Seventh Circle?
yeah, it's with.
Yeah.
I still have my
yeah.
membership card.
That's
I remember
right.
seeing you guys. I was like, yay!
Yeah, dude, that was like that was an incredible. I mean, that was a while ago now, but that was an incredible show.
Yeah.
Orna's music is very detailed, man. You guys really take your time.
Yeah, we work hard.
Can you describe the writing process for us? Are you the main songwriter, or do you just kind of handle lyrics?
I definitely handle writing like my vocal parts and the lyrics. Dre, our guitarist, does do like a lot of like the writing of the songs. Although one of the songs we did start out with drums first, so like,
Oh, yeah.
and then we definitely collaborate together. So
That's awesome. What I remember from that show was I don't know how frequently or how deep into it you go, but I just was all like, I was impressed with your command of being able to sing compelling phrasing over what sounded to me like complicated timing.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
like those polyrhythms.
Yeah, dude, I was all like,
odd time signatures.
I find that I make this statement a lot because the people who we have on the show, metal is complicated music, or it's sometimes it's complicated, sometimes it's extreme, sometimes it's layered, but all of it is stuff that requires a certain amount of preparation and effort. And I just remember thinking like you sounded so natural, like you. I say this a lot. You can't just do that. You have to take your time, So I was just like, she's soaring on top of like these, like interesting, like stratified, layered parts. Like I don't know, man. That was just very impressive
Oh,
to me.
thank you.
Yeah,
That really means a lot.
yeah, that was cool. Will there be more of that on the second record?
Oh yes, yeah. We definitely like to keep it complicated.
Nice, dude.
But
Nice.
in a good way.
It's good to hear that you are pushing the envelope a little bit, though. Paul and I talk about this quite a bit because you sort of have to, like, as you nurture your fan base and cultivate your fan base, unless you want to continue making the exact same music forever, like the AC/DC effect, and that's perfectly fine.
No shade.
No shade at all. You do have to start conditioning your audience early on to the idea that, hey, we are artists and we're going to take creative leaps, boundaries, and changes from time to time. Otherwise, they don't want to come with you. You know what I mean? So you have to start doing that. And so much respect. Good for you guys. I'm really excited to hear it. You said it's an acoustic ballad, right?
Yeah. Or I mean, it does still have like or
Like rock
metal
elements and stuff like
metal
that?
rock elements. But yeah.
Was it hard for you to sing an acoustic ballad?
No, that was the song I was like, I absolutely wanted.
So you were just like, yeah, you just ate
It
up.
took a while to fight for it, but I'm so glad it's on that
Okay.
album.
When you say fight for it, is it because the other members of the band weren't so
I
sure
think
of having
like
it?
as they weren't as warmed up to it at first, but I know they love it now too.
A good song is a good song
Yeah.
is a good song.
Yeah,
Right? It
straight
doesn't
up.
matter what instrument. You could play it on a fucking flute. You know what I mean? Like
Good song is a
Good
good
song
song.
is a
Yeah,
song,
yeah.
So then that immediately makes me think of something again. Just before we started filming, that you had mentioned about your history as a singer. How long have you been singing for? Like, what was your history? What was the journey from where you started to forming Orna?
Sure. I mean, like I was always that kid, like singing Whitney Houston in my hairbrush. And,
Yeah,
like,
oh,
hell yeah.
You
Love Whitney. Okay.
Or like I like being in choirs in school and stuff, but never thought much of it. I always wanted to be in a band, but just never had the courage to try out. And then my former choir director of my middle school reached out to me. She's like, "Hey, I have this Denver professional choir. Do you want to join?" So she reached out to me, and I was like, "Okay."
That's fucking
I was
awesome.
like, "I do miss singing."
I bet that felt pretty good.
Yeah, it did. And right away, I was getting like solos and arias, and it really like boosted my confidence.
Oh, that's incredible.
So that's where, yeah.
I don't want to sound daft, but what is an aria?
It's like a big solo and like kind of like an operatic movement.
Oh, okay,
So, like,
gotcha.
yeah.
Wow, okay, so you do opera type vocals.
I can, yeah.
No shit. Okay, I did not know that.
So you do have it's within your capacity as a singer to do the operatic style stuff.
Yeah.
You can do it.
But I have like I think more soul in me, so like I don't know. So like I think more of like that rock style like suits me better.
Yeah, that's what you find that you gravitate to more organically.
The influence takes over the training.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Like I grew up loving like Led Zeppelin and like like that's what like started leading me that way. I was like, oh, okay, or like the Doors. And
Yeah.
Yeah, what are some of your other like major influences growing up?
yeah, like I always thought like I should have like been in Woodstock. Like I was like born in the wrong decade or something. Like I always like just love, like Janis Joplin and like all of that, Jimi Hendrix. Like I was like, I need to go to Woodstock. Like I'm a big Grace Slick fan. Like she's a big influence of mine.
That's awesome.
I it's so funny. Wow, man, that's the world works in such strange ways. I just watched a video online of Grace Slick like tripping her I want to say balls off, but tripping her balls off at maybe I don't know if it was Woodstock, but it was another festival, and she's doing the song that I'm forgetting right now. One shall make you smile.
White Rabbit.
Yes,
White Rabbit.
thank you. And you could tell, like, dude, her eyes were just like this, dude. But she sounded great.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't missing beats. She wasn't out of key or anything like that. So it's just, I don't know, so strange that you would even bring that up.
It's funny.
Tangentially related, but it's just interesting, Kyle, that you would bring that up. And maybe you have, Jess, frames of reference for this where you're just like, what the like, I'm shocked by artists who can be really drunk or really high when they're performing.
Right?
Dude, I knew you were gonna know what I mean. It, like I know I don't want to speak for you, but I'm sure you would agree. I couldn't imagine playing music like what we play and being like altered like that, dude. But countless jazz and blues musicians. We used to play with a guitar player who was just constantly high, and he was one of the tightest rhythm guitar players that we ever played with. But I'm just like, dog, like you're never plugged into reality. So that's always just fascinating to me.
For sure.
Yeah,
Especially to be able to do it on a level like Janis Joplin or Jimi Hendrix or, I mean, I only say artists of that period because I feel like it's not really practiced as much anymore. I feel like since we're a couple generations after the fact, probably more than a couple, but we've all had the time to like look at all those people and see what has happened to them, and we're like, maybe we shouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there have been enough cautionary tales by this point.
I mean, only half of them have made it.
Right.
Like maybe not like ride a motorcycle through a hotel.
Maybe not.
Jess is out here like,
No John Bonham.
so actually, guys, pro tip: do not drive a motorcycle through a hotel. Bonham drove a motorcycle through a hotel.
Yeah. Or they trashed the hotel. Yeah.
I'm not up on the lore, so you're leaving with the impression that you know more of the lore. You, as a drummer, you hear about Bonham all the time. You still even to this day, you still hear about Bonham. You still hear about Buddy Rich, but you don't hear so. I am not as familiar with Led Zeppelin's. Maybe you can speak on this, Jess. Was there some incident that involved a swordfish? Do you know anything about that?
I'm nodding yes.
I don't completely.
The only reason I'm nodding yes is because I read their like rock biography called Hammer of the Gods, and it wasn't so much the guys in the band that had to do with the swordfish incident, but there was a girl and a swordfish. You can use your imagination.
Perhaps we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, there was a girl and a swordfish. Yeah, but the best part of the Led Zeppelin history, if you ask me, is their fucking manager, dude. This dude would walk around with a baseball bat and a bag full of cash and just rule with an iron fist.
Wow,
Nobody
dude.
fucked with this guy. And you never hear stories about Led Zeppelin ever getting fucked over, do you?
I suppose.
Every other artist you hear about, they're like, our manager fucked us over. Not Led Zeppelin. Them motherfuckers sitting in castles right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's because everybody was terrified
Of their
manager.
management.
Because he would literally kill you.
Their manager was just, what, the guy was nuts? Or what was...
He was just a huge, intimidating figure.
Got it.
And, dude, I think I just made this connection. I'm pretty sure that is Sharon Osbourne's dad.
Oh, man.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
That's so cool.
And fact check me out there, internet. But now that I'm thinking about that, I'm pretty, because Sharon Osbourne's dad was also a manager. And I forget her maiden name because Osbourne obviously isn't her maiden name.
Right.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was her dad that nobody fucked with.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Jess, I wanted to ask you, and I think I asked this of Bobby as well. Actually, Tony for that matter too. It's a question I like to ask because actually, if I asked him this question, you've seen me ask this question before, so I'll just cut to the chase. Does the music that Orna makes largely represent the kind of stuff that you like to listen to? Or is Orna like a place that you like to go creatively and you find that you actually casually listen to different music than what the band makes?
That is a really interesting question. I know, like, as a band, we do have some, like, shared influences. And I know on the new record, like, I know some of it, like, I can see, like, a draw to, like, certain bands. Like, I call one of our songs, like, the Radiohead song, or, like,
there you go.
our Pink Floyd song. Like, it just sounds like that kind of, like, influence. But I think it, like, seeps in there, but I don't really know how to answer that. Like, it's...
Totally valid, dude. Totally valid.
Like, I know, like, our influences are kind of in, like, what we make, but I don't think we're out to, like, necessarily, like, shape it around that.
Right.
But,
Not deliberately sculpting songs like this is going to be our this song or this is going to be our that song. I think it was more a matter of like, do you make the music of Orna, but in your own private time, like listen to a ton of Aretha Franklin, which is not what Orna does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do definitely, like, if I get, like, stuck, like, in my writing, I'll definitely start listening to influences. And
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, we like to ask that because I know it's a strange, I don't know, thing to think about, right? We listen to, both Paul and I, we both love Meshuggah. We listen to a shitload of Meshuggah. We don't sound like Meshuggah, right? Even though we are a direct byproduct of that band.
Oh, right? Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff in the music that we write. But then I think the idea being that, like, we could make a record, put out a record, or go play a show, and it's like metal, 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 and then Kyle's driving home, and he's listening to, like, Phil Collins, you know, and then I'm drive home and I'm like listening to like the Spin Doctors, you know, so like there is some Venn diagram crossover between the music that we make with Pathos and Logos and the stuff that we mostly listen to, but it's not complete overlap, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just like small elements.
Yeah.
What about like desert island records, right? So maybe top 3. So if you're on a desert island, you only got 3 records to listen to.
Oh gosh, that is.
How do you pick, right?
Like, I couldn't even pick a top
records?
10.
Right.
Well, you're on a desert island, you gotta.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, it's tough. To be fair, we ask that question, Jess, periodically, and I'm not sure we can even adequately answer it.
Yeah, my answer probably changes every day.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh-wee. I'd say like Tool Anima.
Yes.
Good. That is probably my favorite Tool record, actually.
Yeah.
Man. Oh god, that's hard. Maybe. Ooh.
It's tough because you don't want to make any sacrifices, right?
Oh
you don't want to.
You're not going to hurt anybody's
Radiohead, Amnesiac, maybe.
Amnesiac. Okay.
I literally have never even heard the name of that record before.
Oh my gosh. Shit, maybe Tori Amos Choir Girl Hotel. Yeah.
That is wild that you said Tori Amos.
Yeah?
Because I just literally just now idly was like, I wonder if Jess likes Tori Amos.
Oh yeah, I love her.
Yeah, I was going to say easy artist to appreciate.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw a video back in the day of, and I have never seen this before, I think it was a DVD of one of her performances called Welcome to Sunny Florida. Do you know that? Do you know what
I have not seen that.
Dude, I never saw anything like it before in my life. She's like singing and she's performing and she's playing two pianos.
Yes, she could. Yes.
I've never seen a human do that before, dude. Fascinating.
I finally saw her at the Paramount and Red Rocks, and it was like I'd always wanted to see her. And yeah, that's how she was sound checking. Like, just amazing.
That's incredible. Now, how long ago did you see Tori Amos?
I'm trying to think. The Red Rock show. It might have been a couple years now, and then maybe a year before the Paramount. Yeah.
Hot.
Okay, so
Damn.
she's still like actively
Oh
touring
yeah.
and stuff. Then. Okay.
I had always wanted to see her, so I was like so stoked.
It's I don't want to say that it's disheartening. I think it's naturally occurring with every generation, but there's artists that we take it for granted will be just, I almost said evergreen, guys.
Evergreen.
Yeah, but perennial, or enduring. And I've been giving music lessons for a long time, and I'm not sure that a 14-year-old student of mine would recognize the name Tori Amos.
True.
There's a lot of my students only recognize Hendrix's name because there's a photograph of Hendrix in the studio that
Yeah.
I teach in.
But dude, yeah.
Yeah, there's also the kids where their parents show them the OG good stuff.
Right.
Being raised right.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta do it.
It is kind of interesting to have a couple years on you, right, and be able to look back and see how newer generations will shed off certain bands from previous genres or
That's
eras,
true.
but retain others. And here is a good example. Fucking Creed. Did you guys ever think?
That Creed would make the cut? I did not, dude.
And this isn't not a knock against Creed, right? Like I remember one of the first bands I ever played in. We were playing "My Own Prison" as a cover song. We were all figuring it out. But if you would have asked me in 2015, hey man, who do you think's going to be the big comeback band from 1999? Would I have said Creed? Fuck no.
Nah, dude.
No, never, dude. And so I just think about it from time to time. There are certain bands or artists that don't really make the leap generationally. Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground were really big for a couple generations, and you don't really hear about them anymore. Hendrix is another one, where Hendrix is when we were kids growing up as musicians, you had to hear Hendrix all the time, and now I don't think it's as big a deal. About Hendrix or not.
I can't let go of this statistic that the last number one radio, I've said this 50 times, the last number one radio hit that prominently featured distorted electric guitar was How You Remind Me by Nickelback in 2001. So I think part of the reason why you don't hear more about it is because guitar distorted, when we think of guitar, the kind of guitar we think of isn't really supported by radio anymore. And I don't know, maybe people aren't even, do streaming services at this point supersede the radio,
Well, I mean, I would think so. I would think I know me personally. I know everybody is really down on Spotify and AI music because fuck that.
Because fuck that.
But there are certain pretty nice things about being able to check out, just this little feature on your phone every Friday, and there's a million new songs to check out.
Yeah.
I mentioned it to you earlier, like fucking going through release radar for new music Friday, and fucking our buddies Dragged Out popped up. You know who else popped up? Tethys. From Denver. Yeah, shout out to Tethys. Shout out to fucking Quinn and the dudes in Tethys. Their song Gray Matter popped up on my release radar, so I'm just letting you guys know. I did see it. I did listen to it. It sounds fucking great. Fucking super techie. But that's cool, right? And that is, in a way, a lot more efficient than radio. Remember?
I guess by now.
Yeah, by now, because I'm sure you guys remember. It would be like a song would come on and you'd have to record it on a tape.
That's right.
Be like, because I don't want to have to wait 2 hours to listen to it again.
Right, dude.
Right. So you just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna record it on this tape.
Mixtapes.
Yeah, the old mixtapes, dude. That was so much fun. I had tons of those, dude.
Were you big on mixtape? Did you make a lot of mixtapes?
Yeah. I even would write down lyrics sometimes.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would.
Oh, absolutely. To name the mixtape.
Yeah.
That's how I would know. Yeah, like I wouldn't, because there'd be too many songs on it, and it was a cassette, so you didn't want to have to fast forward through the whole thing and be next we've got Alanis Morissette. You know what I mean? At 34 minutes in. So I would just write on one side of the tape something like, you ought to know, or something like that, right?
Sure.
Or Mr. Jones, some Counting Crows stupid, stupid shit. You know
that
what
was
I mean?
their one, dude. They had their one. They had more than that.
They had more than that, but
Jess, I wanted to ask you, were you a grunge kid?
Oh, yes.
Were you, dude?
Yes.
okay.
Okay, so
Grunge is having a bit of a revival.
yeah, well, you talk about the bands that endure. Nirvana endures. I have a 13-year-old student. A 13-year-old
That's
kid
true.
knows who Nirvana is. A 13-year-old kid, not that this was grunge, but knows who the Deftones are, dude. You know, but like Soundgarden. You know, a kid doesn't know who Soundgarden is, but knows Chris Cornell.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did you get into from like that? Doesn't even necessarily have to be grunge. More just like the 90s vibe, dude.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely like the top ones. Like I love Alice in Chains, love
Yeah.
Soundgarden, love Tool, Rage Against the Machine, like
Just that whole
yeah,
stable.
like, yeah, absolutely.
Then I guess there was a certain amount of crossover. Oh, hell, that's right. Maynard had a spot on the self-titled Rage record.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
that,
right,
dude?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah,
did.
Yeah, he's in there.
On the first Rage
On the
Against the
first,
Machine?
there was one like small section of one of their songs. Was it Know Your Enemy? Dude?
Yes.
Was it, dude?
Yes. Yeah.
I got no
So listen to
patience
it.
now.
You can hear him.
That's
So
him?
sick of
Oh,
complacency.
Yeah. Yes.
Sick of. That's Maynard James Keenan, dude.
Dude, I feel like an idiot. This whole time I thought it was Zach De La Roca. I was like, oh, he can sing too.
Oh my
No, that
God.
was straight up Maynard. Dude.
No shit.
Yeah.
I am today years old when I learned that. Clip this and put it on the fucking internet right now. Wow.
We just blew Kyle's mind.
You
dude. He just
did, dude. I learned something else about Maynard recently is that the first hit single that he is actually attributed on is not a Tool song. It's the Three Little Pigs song by
The
Green
Green
Jello.
Jelly song, dude.
Yeah, that Green Jelly song. Him and it was Les Claypool and Maynard who do the "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin."
We're
And because
all
that
learning
record
today.
went, because that record went gold.
Right.
There you are, first big hit, dude.
How do you like that?
Mind-boggling. Yeah.
So you mentioned the Anima record. That was 96, I
yeah.
think. That was their one from 96. So I am a 1 to 3 records guy. Even if I love a band, there are certain bands that I love where I only like one record. That record is immortal to me, but I never go past that. So for me, Tool was, and y'all could be mad as fuck at me about this if you want
Tool
to be.
fans
Always
will be
haters.
You
mad.
can
Oh,
be
yeah,
mad
they're
as fuck.
haters.
No, I don't listen to fucking 10,000 Day or whatever the hell it is. I had great record, but I never made it past Anima. Though I had Opiate, Undertow, and Anima, dude. And it was some of the most incredible music I've ever heard. Wow. You've mentioned Tool a couple of times. Would you cite them as a major influence?
Yes, I would think so. I would
Okay.
think so, yeah. I love Maynard's voice.
Yeah, well, easy voice to love. Would you say that? Again, no, that's not I was going to say, not that you were like, I want to start a band like Tool, but I get the overwhelming impression with the timing stuff in Orna that some part of you like needed to know that you were surrounding yourself with musicians who had that capability, right?
Yeah, I suppose like when I was looking for a band, definitely wanted something more of like the prog, like post, like I do like, I like that it pushes that way.
I just appreciate it, like, because there's, I don't know how else to say it. It's related to the teaching thing. Like, I teach a lot of music where I started to doubt my teaching ability because I'm like, I have a lot of students that are a little bit remedial with fills. And I'm like, no, dude, I teach a lot of very modern music and it doesn't feature drum fills. It's just not present. So I think of the music of Orna and I'm like, we like need this in the world, man. Like some kind of conceptual, I'm a pop music guy. I like a lot of pop music. Like I was also singing Whitney Houston into my hairbrush, dude. But I just think it's important. Like, you can make beautiful, Tool. You can make beautiful music that has layers to it, dude. You know? I don't know. That compels me, and I noticed it immediately about the band. So, have you toured, or do you have any plans to take the show on the road?
I mean, I think like maybe coming up this summer and after, like maybe like a mini one try. Like we have played up in the mountains in Frisco and like Colorado Springs recently, so branch
right
out
on.
a little.
So yeah, you're traveling.
Yeah,
You're
a
getting
little
around.
bit, yeah.
What is it like when you guys have to travel, coordinating the travel? I ask that because obviously Kyle and I are two guys. The band text thread is you text one fucking
our
dude.
band family
You're
thread.
right. Yeah, so is it?
Right now we're like, it's like, you ever see that movie like Swingers where they all show up in like one, like a separate car, like
Oh yeah.
like,
Yes.
like the club, like
There's
that's
like
us right
18 of
now.
them, yeah.
But I think we would coordinate it a little better for if we went a little further.
Right,
But right now we're just all like showing up like that.
Yeah.
I appreciate the Swingers reference.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if Love can
Chef's
remember that
kiss,
movie. I
dude.
like that movie.
Yeah. That was a good one,
Old
dude.
school Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
That's right. That was a Vince Vaughn
Yeah,
movie.
And Jon
he
Favreau,
like
too.
winged his lines in that one too. Like it's
That
cool.
may have been Jon Favreau's directorial debut.
I think you're right,
as well.
yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Swingers was
Yeah,
it?
I'm pretty
And
sure.
he's making like Iron Man movies and shit.
Yeah, dude.
Started with Swingers.
Well, hell, Peter Jackson started with making like Bad Taste.
That's right.
And then made Lord of the Rings films. So I guess everybody has to start somewhere. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, like we're adults. We have modern lives. We're passionate about this music, but it can take a little bit of doing to like anything ranging from traveling to play to just even making band practice.
Yeah.
Like, is it easy in your perception or difficult? Well, I suppose at times it's both to arrange things in the necessary way to be able to be a band.
Yeah, definitely like coordinating schedules like for practice. Like we pretty much have like a dedicated night right now, but like it gets a little tricky.
Right.
But other than that, we all are like serious and we want to make it work.
That's
so.
right. The Prey Burner guys got me thinking about this.
What's that?
So the band Prey Burner, who was on one of the previous episodes, has this really cool dedicated creative space.
Oh yes, that's
Do
right.
you guys do you have a dedicated space?
We do. Garrett's detached garage.
Oh,
it's
that's
glorious.
awesome, dude.
It's glorious. I love the way you described that. It's great.
That's awesome.
Okay, so is it like an Orna cave then?
Yeah,
You know,
I
like,
like that.
everything Orna. Yeah,
All that.
that's great.
The Orna HQ there, dude.
There you go. It's important because as creatives, non-creatives find this hard to understand.
Yeah.
But as
Oh, yeah.
creatives, you're not just, putting a pad to paper or just like sitting in a room thinking. You are a conduit of energy, right? And so you have to put yourself in an environment where you can, like, your antenna gets the best reception, for lack of a
Honestly,
better word.
it is such a spiritual experience, the act of creativity, the sense of community and communion with the band when you're creating. And I would say, like, of course, the guy who's in the band with the other guy where they have a weird occult thing that they made up would say this, but a very close analog would be church.
Yeah, yeah.
So is it? Maybe a good question to ask you would be this: do you find that you are the most creative, or that you just kind of get into that ethereal or ephemeral zone better in the space, or can you be like standing in your kitchen eating orange slices and be inspired by the greatest creative idea you've ever had in your life?
I mean, that could definitely happen, like
Yeah.
those random ones. I find, like, if you don't write it down or videotape it, like, you lose it and it, like, floats off forever, and it's so sad. You're like...
Yeah, you're so bummed out. Dude, so that actually a further question. What is your preferred method for capturing your ideas?
Sure, like, I'm one of those, like, I do better like after something is written and then like kind of right on top of that.
Okay.
I mean, I do have songs I like write on my own, but I don't play instruments well, so like
Right.
that,
So
that's
this,
just
so
me. But
that's the chain. You hear the
yeah,
music, and then there's something about the music that inspires you, that
yeah,
catalyzes you into creative
and I
action.
think definitely having like a choral background, like I like know of music theory. I don't say I have it like down
Right.
like packed, but it does help me like in writing for sure. Like
That's awesome.
yeah.
Okay. That's fascinating to me, actually, to hear you say that. I feel like, in a weird way, everybody has a music theory background, but is it like the behind the scenes? I know all the intimate details of it, or do I just understand it from a functional
Yeah.
standpoint? You know, like there's a chord that's happening, and I'm singing a note, and that note does not match. We need to either change the chord or change the melody note. You know, like everybody understands it from that standpoint. Um, I with Kyle and I, Kyle has like the ability to write a kind of heavy that I cannot create. He just there's you have your own like proprietary writing method where like I have a lot of theory background and I you know like studying chords and like harmonic analysis and stuff like that, and in order for me to get my sound I need to call upon those tools. You know, like I can't just get, like I have a way that I want it to sound and I find that I lean on that information or I can't get the sound that I want. So you leave me, Jess, with the impression that just whatever Orna is doing, you're like, and there it is. Does it come to you all at once?
I mean, sometimes you like get in the zone and like things are working. Other times, yeah, you get like in a rut and it's not. But often like once I figure it out, like I already start thinking of like harmonies for recording and like I don't know, I just go on a trip. I don't know.
Well, I think that's a good way to put it. You go on a trip. Um,
Do you get to sculpt the songs a lot as the singer, right? Because it sounds like they get kind of brought to you. The ideas are sort of brought to you, and then you're layering on top of them. So when they're brought to you, is there a little bit of like, not so much this, but yes, this? And then you get to sculpt the songs around that. Are the guys cool with that?
Yeah, I mean that's how we've been doing it.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Some people are like very, and we've worked with these kinds of people where they're like, no, like
Oh.
this is my part and yada yada. And it's like, yeah, but this is like a chorus before a bridge or something like that, or a chorus in the middle of a verse. Like this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And they're like,
well, we also too, consciously or unconscious. I think at times it's been conscious, and at other times it's been unconscious. But we, for a band that writes heavier music, definitely lean on. I don't want to call it like pop structure, but traditional structure.
Yeah.
And there's not everybody thinks that way. You know what I mean? And again, like even a band like Tool, like there's discernible choruses and stuff, the discernible verses. But Lord, you know you don't need us to tell you. You know better than we do. You're going on a trip.
Yeah.
You know you're listening to you're listening to the Anima record and you're like transported somewhere.
yeah, they're not the typical pop structures.
No, not by a long shot.
Yeah. I'll never forget hearing, Jesus, was it Prison Sex? I think was the name of the song.
From Undertow, dude.
From
Yeah.
Undertow. It was on the radio, and I'm riding somewhere with my dad. and
Perfect.
and I'm like, okay, sweet. And turning it up, it's just like wah 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 wah. And he like at the end of the song comes up, and he's like, well, that was the most mind-numbing thing I've ever heard in my life. And I was like, oh, really? Like that's
It's not "Gimme Shelter" by the Stones,
it's
Pop.
definitely not.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, exactly. But I like me hearing it, I was like, oh, this is so like energizing. You know?
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like it spoke to me at the time. I'm kind of like with you, where like I'm not necessarily listening to a whole catalog from a band, but Tool is kind of funny for me because growing up, I was never the biggest Tool fan. I've never owned a Tool record personally, but I did like the Undertow and Anima records, and have a lot of respect for the band. It was just, dude, it's such a unique style that you're either with it or you're not. You know what I
Right.
mean? Nobody sounds like that band, and they sound like no other band. You know, it's very hard to do.
But like is some of the most dramatic emotional listening peaks for me happened specifically with the I must persuade you another way. Bah! And then just like, oh my God. Yeah, just like, oh, my entire life. Oh, my whole life. So, well, that's awesome. So now do you have like the map for the year? Like the record is going to be coming out.
Yeah.
You said that the single is going to be coming out.
Yeah, hopefully very soon.
Very soon.
Start announcing that soon.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Do you have a further map for when you want to release stuff throughout the year? I asked that because
Yeah.
you do. You got
a little bit of one. We do have our album release show set. It'll
Yeah.
be March 7th at Bar 404.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Don't know the bill yet, but
Everybody come out.
Very excited. Yeah, very excited for that. Yeah, hopefully to release the first single soon. I think we want to release one more before the album, and yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, coming to get you. And it does take a lot of preparation, man.
It
I mean,
does,
that's
yeah.
the onus of responsibility on modern musicians. Now that Pandora's box is open and you're not leaning on record labels are no longer the gatekeepers. Like you, as a matter of fact, before we started the interview, Jess, you described yourself as, like just to be quick, like band mom. Like
bit, yeah.
you do a lot. You handle the video editing and like you created the logo and stuff.
Yeah.
So broad spectrum of capability. You handle all that stuff. So does that in the I already know the answer to this because it takes up a lot of our time. But do you find that it takes up just a ton of time just to keep pace in the modern social media world?
It really does, and like it's something I enjoy. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's my baby, but it really does. Like I never thought getting into music. Like I don't know, I wasn't necessarily picturing doing all of this, but like I love doing the artwork
Yeah.
and I love doing it. Getting excited for our music and the shows. Like I do love building that.
Yeah.
But just never pictured it would take that much time, and it really does. Like,
and over the course of the time we've been musicians, it's started to take more and more time. It's like, oh, okay, I have to adopt a couple of new responsibilities. Holy shit. You're right. It's a
Yeah.
business. It's a whole business,
yeah,
man.
you doing posts, and you're like, oh, now I gotta do stories, and now I gotta it's like,
Yeah, just when you think you've figured it out or cracked the code, it'd be
Yeah.
like a whole new
yeah,
platform or something. Have you done the snippety doo? Like all the kids are doing the snippety doo.
Nobody's on Threads anymore, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody's on Snippety Doo.
Better get a fucking account, bro. It's exhausting to keep
Yeah.
up with.
Yeah, you know what, Kyle? Actually, Deb, and I'm glad you used that word. Jess, I don't know whether or not you feel that way, but I'll come with you on that. It's exhausting. Particularly when you came up expecting that what you were going to have to be principally concerned with was just writing songs.
yeah,
You know?
performing,
Yeah, writing and performing. You just said it. You were like, I never expected that, I was going to have to do all this stuff. And it's important stuff, and you handle it, you do it, but
I've got a question for you. If you could subcontract out any of the things you have to do for the band, what would it be?
Gosh, I don't know. Like I still don't think it's that much that I'm doing, but I mean, I know it takes a lot of time, but I guess like I do like the video work and stuff, but I would like some help with that. Like
if there was a
Editing.
magical
some professional videos and
Yeah.
I would help with that.
if you could cast a spell and make an editing elf,
Yeah.
that would be pretty good.
Yeah, the editing. Paul and I were. I mean, editing video was never a thing for us as musicians. Really, you make a couple videos here, clips there. We would do, tour diaries and the early primordial Soundcheck stuff, right? But now that it's long form, and it's every week, the editing, we talk about, this is pretty much all we talk about at this point. Is like, hey man, were you able to get this done? Yeah. Do you have all the like media files that you need to get it done?
Yeah.
You know?
True.
They it's almost like an analog for adulthood. You know, when you were 16, you were all like, oh, dude, I listened to this fucking record 7 times in the same day. And that was your world. Yeah. And now you, like, have to pay your mortgage and stuff. There are times where it feels like, I don't know that you relate to this, Jess, but it feels sometimes like we're guys who record and edit video. And we sneak in songs sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like it's it's a lot of responsibility, man. It takes a lot of time. It does. I was gonna ask something else, and then in real time, that shit flew out of my brain. Dude.
I've got a question for you then, because I'm into like gear and stuff like that, and some vocalists will do live shows with like vocal pedals and stuff like that. Do you use anything like that live?
Yeah, I can't like think of the name of it, but I use a little processor.
Okay, I thought I saw something on stage before.
It just helped. Like I realized that some of the venues, like the reverb sucked, or like like mainly,
or you just don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So,
all reverbs are not created equal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one like allows me to do like or kind of adjust it and make it nice. So.
Do you have the TC Electronics something?
Oh, it's like the red box. I can't remember what it's called.
Okay, got you.
Right. Well, actually, Jess, if I'm honest with you, I find that reassuring. Like, you have the device, you use it, you know that it works for you, but...
I don't go crazy with like the effects necessarily, at least right now. But like, I'd rather it just be like more reflective of what I'm doing. But
right, you just want you want some degree of consistency.
Yeah,
you know, again, you never know what you're going to get. But I know what you mean in terms of like, oh, I don't necessarily know what the name of it is. I use it all the time because because I'm thinking about its function.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You're not, you're not like laying in bed at night like, oh man, this one particular brand name, like I love it so much. You just need the effect to go the way that it goes, dude.
Oh, dude, we have
way.
gear in our live rack. I don't know what it's called.
Right.
That's good.
It'll just be like the cable thingy goes in the back and then the other cable goes in the front.
Yeah.
It's passive?
Yeah, it works.
Yes. What is this called?
Oh.
Sound guy's like, this is going to be fucking great. What do I need to do to get this? You take the cable and you plug it into that thing right
thingy.
there.
Yeah.
And he plugs it in, the whole thing falls out the back, and you're like, no, you should walk away.
Oh, the struggles.
The struggles. Do you have a particular, when you're recording, do you have a particular microphone that you prefer to use?
I don't know the names that they use at Evergroove. You mean like when we record our album? Or no, they just have really, really nice ones.
Right. And that's at the end of the day, what do you need to know more than that?
I know they situated it to where like it was kind of like this because I have more of a dynamic voice. But
Right.
When you say like this, did they have two microphones? One facing this direction and the other.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. That's the David Bowie technique.
Okay.
I
I'm
forget.
down with the Bowie.
I'm down with the. I like that.
Jess is 0% upset for the Bowie connection. That is not upsetting in any way.
So I can tell you kind of why they did that. So the idea is to replicate like a stereo effect. And so they'll have one microphone set up on the top. Usually the one on top, depending on how close it is to your lip or your nose, will be the stereo or the side effect, which will be facing off to the side, a perfect 90 degrees, right? Whereas the other one will have a large diaphragm condenser, usually facing directly, at your mouth, kind of like this. And so if you have one that's facing left, you simply duplicate it to another track and flip the phase. And now you've got a left, right, and a center that aren't all from the same microphone. And you just get a very large, lush, that's probably the best way to put it, a very lush vocal sound.
Right.
Without even having to have effects. You get a lot of the room that you're in just by doing that. And so,
awesome.
David Bowie used that too. Remarkable effect. Yep. Fame, bro.
The fame.
The fame vocal. The verb that you hear on his voice is the mid side effect of doing that.
Wow. I dude, these last couple of shows have just been like a treatise in like learning new things and hearing just names that you don't hear anymore. You know, like I'm out of here like Jess is talking about fucking Grace Slick, man.
Straight
like
up, yo.
just like so sick. Are you a fan of like the Jefferson Starship stuff?
Like Jefferson Airplane? You mean?
Well,
Or,
no, because
like-
there was Jefferson Airplane, but
And
then
don't they get
That's
progressively
right, that's
bigger and
right,
model
yes.
and shit?
yeah,
Yes.
like they became Starship, I think, and just
And then it's
the
like-
shit she was doing in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as big of a fan.
Right.
But,
I'm right there with it. I like the odd song here and there, but there's something about the energy of that music from the 60s,
yes,
dude.
yes.
You know,
Just
that's
raw
just
and
yeah.
unapologetic. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
fucking
very good way to put it.
yeah,
Unapologetic.
dude, unapologetic.
Yeah.
Guys, I think we're coming close to the end of our time here. But
Unfortunately.
very unfortunately. But before we go, I just want to. We're in the new year. You know, I'm not going to say New Year's resolution, but I would say for you personally and for Orna, are there any things that you hope for or that you would like to see in the new year?
I don't know. That's kind of, yeah, I guess we might be hoping to branch out to different cities, like just, or start like doing like mini little branch out there. I don't know, like too many goals beyond that. I think we are like trying to think of maybe working some soundscapes like in our like live performances to like fill the gaps.
That's awesome.
And mainly so I don't have to talk as much because I'm an awkward speaker on stage. But no, but it would be nice. It would be nice to like have that.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've got a certain amount of stuff like that with the way that we put on our show, just textural stuff. Yeah.
We are thinking also like incorporating, like it was kind of Travis's suggestion of like having like my artwork and video work like in the background, like projected. So
Oh, that would be cool.
we are thinking like towards that too.
That's beautiful. That's incredible.
So like
dude.
an experience. Like,
yeah,
on
like a
stage.
multimedia experience. Hell
That,
yeah.
that reminds me a lot of Tool again. I know we've
Well,
brought this
yeah,
up for a
dude.
million times now, but the way Adam Jones works the artwork into Tool's performances
that's
and videos and all that stuff, that's cool.
It is an
That's-
experience.
People
yeah.
appreciate that too, because I mean, people appreciate music, you know, on the surface level, of course. But then when you can start layering additional elements on top of it, like, oh yeah, we also have fucking killer visuals and stuff too. They're like, but I like both of these. I'm so conflicted. I love you. You know, people love that stuff.
They do love that stuff. And you know what, man? I think maybe if ever there was a time to try and help people point their attention towards the spiritual or the ephemeral, you know, away from just cold empirical reality. It's hard on the boulevard right now, man. So
true.
Yeah.
that is thank you for making an even further contribution to giving people something to believe in or something that can elevate the human spirit out of the leaden cage that so many of us are encumbered by.
Keeping the human in the arts, that's for sure.
That's right. That's right.
So, Jess, why don't you tell everybody where they can find Orna?
Sure. You can go to ornaband.com. I did work on that okay website.
Sweet. Okay.
And it links everything. So it's all our socials and our music. It'll have information on our upcoming album soon. And but we are on most of the socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, a little bit of YouTube.
There you go.
I try TikTok, but I'm not really good at that. So.
Well, you're always worried whether TikTok doesn't
know,
exist,
yeah.
does it not
Yeah,
exist?
is it on? Is it off? Is it on? Is it off? We had even discussed kind of like going back on with TikTok because we were like, well, what's the point if they're going to shut it down? You know, why would you invest? Why would you invest a bunch of time and energy into something that people could just be like, whoop, we don't, we're not going to do this anymore.
Somebody who doesn't have your best interest at heart could just be like, gone. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Well, that's fantastic, guys. Definitely make sure and check out Orna online. Go and buy some stuff.
That's right.
Check out the show. When was the show?
March 7th.
March 7th at Bar 404,
Yeah.
right? Down in Denver. So make sure you do that. Tune in to the next episode. We're going to keep it real in 2026. Make sure you sign up for the fan club so that you are getting weekly updates on the show and who's going to be on and little freebies and stuff. Paul, what do we say at the end of the show?
Glory to the order. Eat it on the border. I almost blew it. I almost fucked it up. Vision of disorder.